Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and in this video I will be showing you how you can design your own business card. Right, so what I've done is, as you can see, that I've opened two artboards instead of one. Right, one and two, sorry. Yeah, so the size of these documents is 3.2 inches by 2 inches, and this is like the standard size of a business card, right? So like the reason why I have two right now is because one will be the front side and the other will be the back side where it will have all your details, right? So I will be creating a very a minimal design on a business card, right? So let's begin. So after when you open your Adobe Illustrator software, you usually in the artboards section, there's usually just one artboard comes up, but you can change the number from 1 to 2 and these two artboards open up, right? I've given a name to my document as well called the business card, and let's begin. But before that, I would like to remind you all to make sure that you are in the Essentials Classics options right here. So then you can see all these tools right here on your screen. Okay. So the first thing I will do is create the front side of the business card, right? So we can do that. So I'll be playing around with the layers. So here in the layers panel, layer 1, I'll rename this to graphics because this is where all the designs will come up. Graphics, and I will give another layer, rename this to text. Okay, right. So I'll go ahead and click on graphics, and this is the first layer that we will be working in. And this artboard will act as the front side of my business card. Right, so let's start. And okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and let's see. I'll actually start with the pen tool first. And I don't really require any fill, I just need the stroke. So I'll just click on this to make sure that the fill is not there and the stroke remains black. So I quite like geometric shapes, simple geometric shapes, right? So let's do that and just create a triangle like that. Okay. Okay, then that's done. I'll select this and I want to make another copy about on this upper corner as well. So while this is selected, I go to Object, Transform and Reflect. So this happens and let's see, yep, horizontal like that. I'll take this and I want to make the mirror image out of it, right? So while this is still selected, I go back to Object, Transform, Reflect. Let's see, yep, make sure it's vertical and okay. And I'll just bring this right here. Okay, I'll bring this triangle inside as well. And let's fill it in with more graphics on this side as well. Okay, go back to the pen tool actually. Okay, I'll make one point here, make another one right here and give it a curve like that. Like that. I'll also close this because since I want this inside shape to have some color as well. that, about here, here, and here. Okay. Now the thing what I want to do is make sure that this aligns with the triangles we've also made, right? So I'll select this corner anchor point first. I'll zoom in. Okay. And with the help of the arrow key, the left arrow key, I'll just move it towards like that. And click this anchor point, zoom in, and just with the help of the up arrow key, move it upwards and like that. With the help of the mouse as well, you can bring it to be more precise, like that. Okay, so this looks pretty cool, like a pretty cool front design, right? So you can add another small one over here because this design is pretty dominant, right? So let's again going back to the pen tool and make a small curve like that. Skip and just want to close this right here. Done. And I'll resize this. I want this to be really small, not too big, because this design itself is pretty overpowering and pretty catchy to the eye as well. Okay, selected. Here, like that. Okay, looks cool. Right, so let's go ahead and fill it in with colors. So I'll select this. So I'll select this one first. And I'm thinking I'll add some gradient to it. The gradient, it'll look pretty cool on a business card, no? So I'll select this gradient tool right here. So by default, the colors here is white and black. So let's change that. So I'll select this white one and select a really bright color. Or no, let's take this magenta color, and with this black I'll take a similar color which is pretty much nearer to the shade we just picked out. About purple, like that, and a probably darker shade of purple. Yep, cool. Now you can see that a gradient is added like that. So with the help of the gradient slider, I can see how I want the gradient to happen and which color I want it to be more dominating this way. I'll probably have this one like that, and okay. And we can also play around with the angles as well. So this is going from left to right. So let's see what happens with 45. Nope. Minus 45. Yep. There it is. So if you click on minus 45, it goes from this corner here has purple, and then it just gradiates, has like a variation of a lighter purple shade coming out like that, right? Cool. This is done. Let's choose these colors as well. And these two colors, I'm thinking it will have the same color, like this one, and probably this one can also be the same, but I'm thinking this one might, we could like, you know, just play around with the transparency as well. So this is 100%. Let's make it a little, let's just decrease the opacity for this. This is 100%. Let's make it 70. No, wait, too much. 90. I think 90 would be fine. Yeah. So there's not much difference you can see, but it's there. Okay. So I'll select all these right now, and I do not require the stroke. So actually looks a lot better, right? You just play around and adjust this a little like that. Make sure that there is some seamless design and no white spaces is left, right? That goes inwards, and just bring this one inwards with the help of the arrow keys. Yep. Okay, so since this one has, like, we could also add a gradient in this one as well. So when you click on this, and over here you can see the gradient that we had already used. You can click on that, and yeah, so this is like the last we had used with this particular angle, so it's gonna come up again like that. So this looks pretty cool, and we could just go ahead and like make sure it fits the edges of the card. Okay, might as well just zoom in on this. Okay, that is easier for you to see, and that this one right here, back up and push it up. And just one last one over here. Click on this anchor point and this anchor point and move it upwards. There. Yep. So it's okay if it's coming a little bit out of the card, that's fine. And yeah, so maybe I'll just join these two shapes together. So to do that, I selected these two and come back here to this shape builder tool, and while it's still with the plus sign, I can join these two shapes together, right? So I just have to click and drag my mouse like that, so it becomes into one single shape, and go back to adding the gradient like that, and done. Okay, so this has a point, I don't want that, so let's add like a curve over here. I'll select this anchor point, this circle comes up, I'll just make it more rounder like that. Similarly, I think I'll let it be this way as well. Okay, right, looks pretty cool. And similarly on the back hand side, if we just zoom out, what we can do is that we can add the exact same thing on this side as well, right? So while this is selected, we go to Object, Transform, Reflect. Yeah, I want it on the opposite side. Now let's say copy, and you just adjust this a little so you see. So while the new one is still selected, we'll just bring it over here to the back side like that. So like there's like some sort of momentum at both back and side, back and front. Okay, so this is the back side of the graphics of the business card. And no, sorry, this was the front side. I'm so sorry, this was the front side, and that is the back side. Okay, now since this is made, we'll go ahead and lock this layer and come to the text one right here. Okay, so usually this one has just your name and like just brief to like what your profession is. Right, so this looks a little artsy, doesn't it? So we'll go ahead and take this type tool right here and make this one really big box like that. And this is just a dummy text that comes up, so you can just go ahead and delete that and type in your name. So let's type in let's say Amelia Tanner. And since the name is one of the most eye-catching text that we could add, like the first thing that people see. So by default, the size is 12. We can go ahead and make it, say 21 looks good. And let's make this centrally aligned. And also let's play around with the font. I mean, this looks a little too plain, right? So over here in this fonts, Adobe Illustrator provides this variety of fonts, right? So you can go ahead and choose whichever one you like. But personally, I really like this one, Gabriola. It kind of gives like a soft with a little bit calligraphy, not calligraphy, it's a little cursive types, right? Go ahead and click this, and let's see if I can make this bigger a little bit more. Yep, 24 looks good. I'll bring this up like that and maybe just reduce the text size a little so that it fits like that. Okay. And let's add another smaller text box right here underneath the name, like that. And I just want to see what the dummy text is. Okay, so let's type in graphic designer. Let's just reduce the size of this. It's 12, let's make it 8, and no. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is in regular font only. There's no bold or italic options here. So one of the things you have to also look out for is that some fonts will only have this regular option and it will not have the bold or the italic options. So be a little careful that way as to what text fonts you're using. So I'll zoom in on this and also just reduce like that and bring this in the middle. Okay, just want to make sure that this is centrally aligned. So I'll select these two texts, go to align and horizontal align, and there you go. Designer, right? So let's also just bring it to the middle like that. I'll probably make this a little bit more bigger since we want to make the best use of the space. Let's make it 36. 8, let's make it 12. There you go. There it is. Now it's starting to look a lot better, doesn't it? Let's go over to the other side and add the details. Right. So what we can do is, okay, now we have to add the contact details, and if contact details, the email ID and social media handles. Right. So I'll divide this into two parts. So over here, I'll add the email ID, the phone numbers, etc. Right. So I'll change the font size to 9 for now and type in phone number. Let's just type in anything like this number, email ID. We could write gmail.com. Okay. So probably we could just also play around with the fonts over here. So instead of a cursive one, we can choose a much more simpler one. Probably Montestrat. Nope. Let's just stick to Myrit Pro for now. And I will... Let's go around and just play around with the font size. Make it 8 or 7. Yep. Make the phone number a little bit more smaller to 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do not require another number like that. And probably make this header bold. Right, so with Myrit Pro, as you can see, there are more options right here, right? So we can make it bold. Go ahead, make this bold. And make this bold as well. Yep. Make this smaller. Text box smaller. We are done. We are almost done. Okay. Like that. And let's add any social media accounts right here. Or probably we could just copy paste this text box right here. Wait. Copy paste. Okay. So let's add over here Instagram. Then Amelia T _03. And over here, instead of email ID, we could say YouTube channel. And just type in anything like Amelia Tanner graphics. Making sure that I'll just make this to be bold like that. Right, and there you go. This was like a very small and simple way of just showing you how you can design your own business card. So this was just a dummy business card that I made. Now, of course, you can go ahead and design it the way you want. Go creative, go crazy with your designs, go ahead and play around with the fonts as well, right? So just for suggestions as well, you can even add, like, instead of writing Instagram here, you could just add the Instagram icon, and instead of YouTube channel, just add the icons here, like YouTube icon here and Instagram icon here. So you can play around with the icons, and just like similarly over here, phone number, you can just add a icon of a phone, and for email, just add like a letter icon that way as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this as well. We go to File, Save As, and by default, our Save As type will be Adobe Illustrator, and the file name given here is actually the name of the document we had named, right? So you can let it be the way it is and just click on Save. So when you save this, so don't worry, both these artboards will be saved, right? And we click on OK, and that's it. Our business card design has now been saved, and you can go ahead, and once you're happy with the design, you're satisfied with it, you can go ahead and get it printed. Right. So now that we've come to the end of this video, I hope you found this tutorial to be useful, and with a little practice and with a lot of imagination and creativity, you can design your very own business card. Thank you for watching.